Welcome back one and all to the 3K challenge. You guys know the drill. I'm here to trade stocks and options in order to buy Crab Rangoon each time I gain $200. I've had a few ups and downs so far, finishing week 3 with about $150 gained in total. Can this be the week where I finally crest that $200 mark so I can cash in for that crabby goodness? Let's find out. It's Monday morning on April 28th and the market just opened with some slight green on SPY. Soxal, meanwhile, is a little red. You'll recall that last week I had a covered call on Soxal at the $12 strike. Soxal did finish slightly above that, so I closed out with a gain of $113 on the shares and $13 on the covered call, for a total of $126. Over on Moomoo, I only have my Iron Condor open. But with Soxal just above $12, this is a good time to sell a short put and initiate the wheel. Traders are still a little spooked about trade wars, tariffs, all that. I don't agree anymore. I think the bear market is over and I missed the bottom. So I've got half a mind to sell the $12.50 put expiring this week, but I don't think the extra $17-ish in premium merits selling an in-the-money put. So I will sell the $12 put, which is just slightly out of the money. Some people will say this is crazy, but like I said, I think the market will be just fine from here. So I'm perfectly happy selling a cash secured put, and I'll ultimately take my fill at $71. So with this $71 in premium, I am on the hook to repurchase 100 shares of Soxal at $12 each. My break-even price is $11.29. If Soxal goes below that, I will have lost money even after accounting for the premium. And if Soxal goes above $12.71, I would have been better off just buying shares. Let's give the market some time to run and I'll check back in later. It's after market hours on Tuesday the 29th. Not too much happened in the market today. Soxal came off a little bit and SPY rose, but nothing major. Snap tanked 14% on earnings, which is very typical of Snapchat. But I have no direct exposure to Snap. What I am concerned with is tomorrow's GDP numbers. Estimates are very bearish, calling for growth of negative 2.7%, which would be atrocious. The bar is set so low that I can't see the market not rallying tomorrow on basically anything to be bullish about. I'm looking for a blow off top, like 3% green minimum. So I'm mostly worried that my Iron Condor, with my short call at 570, will be in jeopardy. I could easily see us reaching that point by the end of the week on even the slightest good news, like Cambodia locking in a trade deal. So I'm not nearly as bearish as I was a week ago. And honestly, that's kind of a bearish indicator. But nonetheless, I'm in the position now, so we'll wait for GDP numbers tomorrow and see where this thing goes. Alright, the market just opened on Wednesday the 30th, and I was completely wrong. I thought we were going to have liftoff right out of the gate, but when those GDP numbers dropped, the market was not very happy. Maybe somebody with more knowledge can help me out here because I'm seeing GDP down by 0.3%, whereas it was expected to be down 2.7%. So did we just crush GDP? It wasn't nearly as bad as they thought it was going to be? Or do I just not know how to read this information? But whatever the case there is, the market is down a good amount, about 1.65% on SPY, cutting into the week's gains. Soxal is below my basis. Over on Moomoo, we can see that this isn't all bad news though. I'm above $200 in gains for the first time, and if I closed everything now, I would be eligible for my first taste of Rangoon. I'm not that hungry for Crab Rangoon, so I'm not going to close this out, but this is indeed a happy morning. My Iron Condor needed some decline on SPY, and for the first time since I opened it, I'm in the green by just under $50. My Soxal short put, meanwhile, is red by $51. But that's okay, because the short put has a lot of extrinsic value on it. And frankly, I am happier to see my Iron Condor leading to gains than I am disappointed about Soxal causing losses. Because Soxal's price will move much more quickly than the Iron Condor, and therefore my cash secured put can move back to green in no time. There's some more economic data coming out later today, and Trump's boys have been teasing us with a trade deal all week, probably with India. So there's a lot that can happen in the next few days. I'll check back in later in the week, but I guess we have to do the sponsored segment first or else I don't get paid and my kids will starve. So thank you Moomoo for sponsoring this series. For the next approximately 30 days from when I publish this video, Moomoo is dishing out up to 60 shares for qualifying new users. Sign up, make your deposit, and claim the shares in the task center. You'll need to go through their vesting window, and during this time, you must sustain your deposit. So do not withdraw money back out, do not buy shares that can drop in value, Just leave your cash where it is until your shares vest, and then you can do whatever you want. The good news is that you'll be earning 8.1% APY on that cash balance during this window, so you're still pulling gains while you wait. This is the best offer I've seen Moomoo run, and it's a very easy reward. With that APY on cash while you wait for the shares to get delivered, you're getting taken care of for doing basically nothing. I use Moomoo myself, obviously, and I've been happy with the platform, just not my trading decisions. Thank you once again to Moomoo for sponsoring, and now let's get back to it. It's Friday morning just after market open, and I'm a little scared to open my portfolio right now. The market is up for the 9th straight day. Soxel burned right through my upper break even. SPY is ticking closer to my short call at 570. We are just sailing right now. And you know what? I understand why. A lot has changed, and I no longer see any reason to be bearish. Everything bearish has been canceled in the last month, and everything bullish is game on. Jobs numbers today crushed it. Mag 7 earnings this week crushed it. Liberation Day tariffs are paused for 90 days, and who are we kidding? They're not coming back. They're just canceled. Plans to seize Greenland, Panama, and Canada with military force are canceled. Military support to Ukraine is uncanceled. Mass government layoffs are canceled. Measures to cut the federal budget are canceled, and we're about to pass the most expensive budget ever. We've got a steady IV drip of trade talks going well tweets, and we're just weeks away from passing meaningless trade agreements in principle that do nothing but give us grounds to remove all the tariffs and resume trade. We are going right back to the December economic situation, which is extremely bullish. The only reason to be bearish right now is if you missed the bottom and you want stocks to go down so you can buy them cheaper in anticipation of them going up again. My ego is not so fragile that I can't admit I was wrong to be so bearish. The recession and trade war are canceled, and I missed the bottom. So be it. People are going to talk about empty shelves and ports having low traffic between now and 2027. The only empty shelves will be from meaningless junk supplied from AliExpress. Whether we have 2 quarters of GDP decline or not, it doesn't matter. If there's a recession because of lower consumer spending on junk, it will be the most meaningless recession in history and stocks will go up. Now, with all that said, I'm afraid to open Moomoo because my Iron Condor is certainly being gang mauled. I'm probably back to being red for the challenge. All right, let's do it. Oh hey, look at that, I'm still green by a few dollars. My Soxel short put at the $12 strike is way out of the money, so I'll receive the $71 gain on that today. But since Soxel is up so much, I would have been better off just holding shares. I'll let this one expire and take the gain nonetheless. The short put saved me because this Iron Condor is indeed getting BTFO. Now my short call at the 570 strike is still out of the money. I'm about $10 from my upper break even. So if I'm following Tasty Trade's rules, I wouldn't touch this. I would let the trade continue and anticipate a pullback. If I were to manage this like a short strangle, I'm still $10 from my break even, at which point I'd roll up my short put to collect more premium. That's Tasty Trade's rules. Now if I'm going with my gut, I'd say that the market is back to May 2020 conditions and I should just go long and stop overcomplicating things. So do I stick with Tasty or do I degen? I want to buy more bullish positions right now, but I'm completely maxed out on buying power, so I'd have to close something to free up more BP. And if I close this Condor right now, I'm breaking Tasty Trade's guidance. Every time I've ignored Tasty Trade, I've either lost more money or gained less money than if I stuck with them. So I'm going to very reluctantly hold this Iron Condor, and I have a feeling I'm going to regret this. By noon, I'm in the red by about $20 on this challenge. But my Soxel short put will expire worthless, and that'll give me $1,200 of buying power going into next week. And instead of selling out of the money puts, I'm probably just going to start in the money wheels on high volatility stocks and use the premium to buy shares, because this is the most bullish I've been so far this year. And to be honest, that's probably a top signal, but I stand by it. Overall, unless something crazy happens through the end of the day, my trading like shit streak continues because I've been too bearish. I am nowhere near Crab Rangoon after an entire month. I gotta get my act together going into next week. Join our free Discord if you want to hang out with me and people who are much better traders. I'll see you guys there, and I hope to see you next week as I carry on the 3K challenge.